My name is Cyrillic, this is Marcus, and tonight we are joined again by Dolores Barr.
It just gets uglier every time.
I know. You are listening to Fallen Hour Radio.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
If you're not of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, you're not welcome here.
In the middle of the night, ghosts tried to talk to me.
It's interdimensional, so we are living in a multi-dimensional environment.
He's bending down, doing something. He says he sees a shadow. He turns around and there's nobody there.
The power of Christ compels you.
I want you to tell me whether you remember what happened to you when you died.
I went blind. Then I had an hemorrhage, and I fell asleep, and I died in a chair in the corner downstairs.
How can we kill you, God?
One man, God.
So tonight's topic is just the continuance of the last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go from there?
Yeah.
Just mid-sentence and just cut the last one. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I don't
What's
know.
on your
You're the one
mind?
that called this over.
You made the plans.
I did not.
You made the plans.
He did.
Oh.
All right.
So we're just here to talk. Let's get into, I guess, some of those ghost stories again. And we do have some things set up around the house that we hope, because last night was crazy.
Yeah, it got kind of weird.
So if you
It was
guys watched the
scary.
last episode, we had somewhat of a mishap. Like, we were telling ghost stories, and we were just mentioning that you were saying that too. When you get into these stories, sometimes things start to happen.
Yeah.
And we've had things happen on the podcast before,
Yeah, we were talking about that in the last one.
but I don't think it's happened like that.
No, that got really creepy.
And it's funny, though, because we're all siblings, and maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. But we all experienced this thing together, and started off with us hearing whispering, breathing in the mic. And we did have, and we still do have another mic set up off camera behind this one.
It was
And-
set up for somebody back there, but that
Yeah.
person ended up walking away, and then we started hearing breathing in that microphone.
Right.
And whispering.
After you turn that microphone back on, it's on.
And tonight we have a couple other things set up. EMF reader, and we have something to measure electroactivity, right?
You spit it out.
And this shouldn't kick off when we get close to it. But if the air was to get some static electricity in it,
Yeah. Like you can literally touch
right,
it.
you put our phones next to it, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it should start to kick off. And we should see
But
also,
your phone will set
does-
this off, though.
Yeah. And this is in aims to see if something does happen again tonight while we tell these stories and get into this and see if we can actually validate it with our
Yeah, because we did it before, and it did happen.
with our equipment.
Yeah.
And so last night, if you guys were watching the episode, if you guys go to facebook.com or YouTube or just go to fallenhour.com and it should be one of the last videos on our page.
It's already kind of,
Yeah. And
it's already going up.
so we started off with whispers that we were hearing, and we kind of stopped mid-sentence here and there to see if anybody's saying anything. We heard a breath come out of that microphone.
It wasn't just a breath. The thing was breathing on them, like somebody put their mouth on the mic and started breathing.
Yeah, but
We started hearing whispering. Even on
Yeah.
the camera's audio,
yeah,
we can hear something trying to whisper, and we all heard it. Like, we heard
Yeah.
it on the mics, and we heard it on the camera.
and for some reason we have one camera trained on our sister Dolores, and for some reason it starts snapping, like it's snapping photos of her, which you can do on that camera while it's recording.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't stop. It just kept going and going and
It
going.
kept snapping pictures constantly.
And the eerie part about that was we were talking about the ghost that bothers Dolores a lot. And while we were talking about that ghost, that camera starts snapping pictures of Dolores,
Yeah.
which is creepy.
Yeah,
I told
it
you
wouldn't
once you,
stop.
Once you mention him, he comes around.
Yeah.
Like when you mentioned Bob.
Seriously?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Got a little spike there, but
So tonight we're gonna get into more of those stories and some theories, things that like that. And I avoided it. See, did you see that? and see where this podcast goes, and hopefully we capture something.
yeah.
So where do you want to start?
You said some stories, right?
Yeah. Do you have a story?
Hey, you guys take a shot every time Sidel says, and things of that nature.
Do you got a story?
Not off the top of my head now.
All right, Dolores, start it off.
How do you not have any stories?
I said off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Oh, I did have a weird dream though last night.
About what?
Chucky moving or coming in the room.
Which one?
That one,
That's gross.
the nice looking one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The good guy doll?
yeah,
Like the
and-
actual good guy doll?
This is around the time I was waking up for my alarms, and I just remember, like in my dream, I was waking up to a Chucky, so like I was still like opening my eyes, and I could see him coming in here, and I looked in the living room, and he was off, and that's when I woke up.
Gross.
And before I went to sleep, man, I had this whole routine I got to do every night, so I got to wash my face, I go grab something to eat or something, sit in bed, wait for the sleeping meds to kick in, but I was sitting on the bed, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm freaking hungry." So I went to the kitchen, and I got to walk past these guys, and it's just, you feel like something's watching you.
Well, obviously, you have a bunch of things watching you in that corner.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep because they weren't in my room last night. It was
Like
so weird.
You
I
felt
kept,
alone.
yeah, I kept jumping awake.
It's so weird. But yeah, that's what happened with me.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was gross. So anyways, go ahead with, let's start off with you, Dolores. Story time.
Okay. Well, kind of leading off from the last episode, I mentioned seeing that little girl, the one that
Oh,
was
God.
crawling towards me.
Yeah.
I seen her twice, and the second time I seen her, she was inside the house.
In the house in
Yeah,
Crow
in
by the
Crow.
water tower?
Mm-hmm. And you were in the back room with your girlfriend at the time. And, and
I'm just kidding.
I remember, I remember her baby would always like crawl and like peek around the corner all the time.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready for school, and then I forgot my comb, and like the bus was coming, and I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna go grab my comb. And the second I round the corner to go to that back bathroom to grab it, I seen like long, wet hair going across like the hall.
Oh my God.
And then I seen a hand come out, and then I was like watching, and I was like, what the hell? And kind of like looked up and looked at the face, and it was that girl, and she started smiling as soon as I looked at her face.
That's gross.
And like I just froze, and I was just staring at it. And then Mom's like, your bus is coming, you better go. And then I was like, I'm leaving, bye. And I just ran out the door. After that, I didn't even lock the door, I just ran out.
Ugh.
You had a story, something, you and Joe were at Uncle Ben's house.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Which time?
Or was it his story where
The
he
voices.
heard the voices saying we're going to school?
Oh
or-
yeah, we were getting our skateboards ready. We're gonna go out and go skateboarding, and his dad left. Everybody left the house. It was just us there, and or no, we just got back from school, I think, and we were getting ready to go skateboarding, and we were getting our skateboards ready, and I think Joe was like changing the wheels on his board or his trucks or something. And I remember this house, when you walk on the deck outside, you can kind of feel when somebody's walking, you can feel the floor go boo, 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 like that. And I remember he was tightening up his trucks and everything, and all the TVs were off. There was nothing on in the house, and it was just us two in his bedroom. And in the living room, we heard a little girl say, "All right, Mom, I'm gonna go to school." And we heard a woman say, "Okay, just watch out for cars." And we heard the door slam, and you can feel the ground go boom, 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 like somebody was walking on a deck.
So weird.
And I remember Joe just looked up at me, and we both just gunned it for the door, and we ran outside, and we didn't stop till we got all the way down the street at the Catholic church, and we did not go back to the house. Like we stayed there, like we were trying to catch our breath, and he's like, "You heard that, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I heard that." And we ended up staying there until his dad got home from work. Like we were skateboarding and everything, just stayed there. We didn't want to go back to the house at all, so we stayed there till everybody got home. But yeah, that was like one of the strangest things that kind of ever happened there.
That is, yeah, I remember hearing that story as a kid.
Yeah, just imagine in a quiet house, nobody in there, and you hear people talking in there, and somebody actually open and close the door, and you can hear them walking away.
And that's kind of weird though too, because people talk about residual energies and things like that.
Yeah.
But this was after school, and like you would think that if it was a residual,
It would happen in the morning,
right? Yeah, and this happened later in the day. That was kind of strange to me.
Yeah, but yeah, like that's like one of the only things I've actually kind of encountered that would pertain to residual, like residual happenings.
So we were, and this has been something we've been talking about too, because we know about CERN and everyone talking about the Mandela effect and multiple realities that happen, an infinite amount of, like this podcast will be happening an infinite amount of times in different, basically universes.
Yeah.
Our realities, dimensions. And I don't know where I was going.
His brain locked up.
Go
What the hell was it? What did you just last say?
You were kind of talking about like realities bleeding into each other, I think. Is that where you're going? Like dimensions?
Oh, okay, yeah. So
or
it's
timelines?
like, it could be, but
I feel like that's where you're going with that.
Right, yeah. Residual energies is, and we've talked about this with other podcasts too.
Yeah.
Like Miranda Young. I think we talked with Russell about it. I don't remember. But we were asking, do you think that residual energies are just another dimension or reality? And certain things we do or step or something we say triggers that reality and pulls it into our timeline.
Yeah, like they almost kind of cross over for
Right.
a moment. Like
And-
you may not see them, but you hear them.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, and we're almost in a way interacting with them. But it's like they're pulled into this timeline and we can hear them and things like that. But
He almost said it.
but
They're all.
but when it gets into, I guess, intelligent residuals,
Intelligent responses.
yeah,
Like what they can respond to at that moment.
right. Do you think that maybe in other, like if is a different dimension, like maybe they're hearing us speak to them too?
Like where they're ghosts? Is that where
Right,
you're getting
yeah. It's almost like the others. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, I hate that movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that one time before. But, people always like bring up, like what's going on, like, oh my God, UFOs or this or that. People are seeing like literally UFOs like constantly now. And, the government's talking about it a lot more
Yeah.
and everything. And I'm like, whatever, we've seen things, weird things
Right.
in the sky like forever. And what I'm more concerned about is what CERN's doing. They literally said that they did open up a doorway to like another dimension.
Right.
And there's beings that they're in contact with, and nobody's talking
strange,
about that.
yeah.
Like nobody's literally talking about that.
I thought Mark was going to go into his whole rant about aliens and stuff. I was like, oh, here we go.
I feel like everyone's just fucking add it to the list. Like, move on.
Right.
But that's the thing that I'm like, they're literally saying that they're talking to something in a different dimension and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. There's also theories about government using an invasion to bring, this is like podcast talk about this too, and there's a guy who wrote a book, I forgot his name, and he made a speech about the different steps the government will take to bring in a one world order.
Yeah.
And the last one on the list was an invasion,
Yeah.
an
You
alien
think
invasion.
Could be from a different dimension.
I don't know, but it's like when you look at what's happening, it could be either or of because everything's just happening too much in line with I
Didn't they
guess
say like technology will kind of usher in the Antichrist?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they say, we were talking about the Euphrates
Maybe
River.
they're just opening up the door for him, and he's like, "Just oh, here I am," you know.
It's time to get out of bed. It's my time to shine. But it's the Euphrates River. They say 3 days. I mentioned that last night. 3 years after that, then the Antichrist would be revealed.
Yeah, and it's almost dried up.
Yeah,
And that
and
is just creepy.
And he would have talks of peace and actually bring peace. And actually, when there's peace in Israel, I think that's what 3 years after that. There's the Antichrist supposed to be revealed.
Yeah,
but it's what I was saying about UFOs and things is I 100% believe in UFOs, aliens and things of that nature. Another shot right there, Dolores. That's stupid. But boy, seeing governments almost, it's like, are they using that as a playbook?
yeah.
Are they, because one of the mass,
Almost like what Napoleon did.
right? Because mass populations are religious, and there's like over 1 billion Catholics, and using that, I think it's just like government's done for thousands of years.
Yeah,
Is using religion, and I think using that as a playbook and then making those things happen.
yeah.
Like, is that possible?
It's possible.
And it's something I kind of like teeter-tottered on when we're talking about aliens and UFOs in the past, but I don't think I really started to like think about it until like the wars in Israel and things of that nature, and things happening like that. Oh, God, said it again. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. Like it really kind of started kickstarting my mind on that stuff. Like actually seeing how everything's lining up,
Right.
and it's almost like falling in line with everything that you read.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's almost too in line. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like, it's, if you, like, do you believe that or not? Do you believe the side of its actual, which most Christians do, which we would believe that. On the other hand, you have people may think that
like
maybe
trying to
they're
force it.
trying to force it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're using it as like a playbook.
Yeah, because it wasn't Napoleon trying to be the Antichrist.
I don't remember. I think so.
Yeah,
Something like
he was
that.
trying to like, basically, what's that called? Like prophecy. He was trying to fulfill it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
he was like one of like a few that tried to do that.
and the Antichrist would be someone in power, someone very ranking in power, who talks and brings peace, but also he's going to bring the most destruction.
Yeah,
And it's going to be like the most ruthless person there is.
yeah. If you really read into it, it's going to be horrific.
Yeah.
Like he's literally going to make Hitler look like child's play
Yeah.
with how wicked he's going to be.
Right.
And it's going to be worldwide, which is freaking terrifying if you think about it.
And it's like, I mean, people.
And if you look at like technology now, like the technology they have, it's almost impossible to hide. So if he gets his hands on that kind of technology or those kind of like military technology, like being able to just see people like running and just snipe them out from helicopters and this and that, it's almost impossible to hide.
There was a video that went around about how the U.S. is able to, or actually there is a software they used using AI, using your Wi-Fi signals, and you can see people walking around in the house.
Yeah.
And you can hear conversations happening through
Like
the
you can see them
Wi-Fi.
through the walls.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's so dangerous. But
Yeah.
I think it's getting to a point now where you can use AI to mimic somebody, start wars, and this has been talked about for years now. Start wars or end their careers, things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got all the way over there. Trying to get to a story. But I don't know.
We were talking about the Antichrist and all that. And then
Yeah, we
somehow else-
haven't. But we haven't talked about current events on our podcast yet. So
Yeah.
something just a tidbit to put in there. What do you think, Dolores?
I don't know.
I don't.
It is what it is.
Like I said, add it to the fucking list.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So we did end with ghost stories last night, and I know you have a couple in the bank still. And
it grosses me out the way you described that girl, like on the last one.
Man, I don't like thinking about her because it's like burned into my brain.
Yeah.
And I just get like this ugly feeling like I relive that
Yeah,
moment.
like you described it down to a T, and I was just, I could see it when you're saying it, and it just creeped me the hell out.
I do want to say though, it's like people listening be like, oh, I've heard this all my life, whatever about that.
Like,
going back to that for a second.
Like the way you said she was crawling, I imagine that
going like
mermaid
this.
on Cabin in the Woods, the way it was
Yeah.
crawling toward that guy.
Just bypass what I just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Just screw it. I was just thinking about somebody listening to that, but we'll just skip it. We'll just go on. Let's go into your story.
Which one?
Either or.
Well, I have one about Bob, and Briseis was like, remember those like little things that babies can sit on and has like they can move around like if they can't walk yet.
Yeah.
She had one of those, and it was just me and her at the house, and she kept going into the living room, and I went and put something on the TV in there, and so I was like, oh, she can watch something. And I was in my room, and I was grabbing stuff because I was gonna go out there and like sit with her, and I start hearing someone in the kitchen saying, "Hey, baby, hi, baby," talking to her.
Gross.
And I got creeped out because Dakota was talking like just days before, like, hey, you gotta watch out, like people are trying to like to break into houses here. He's like, you need to he's like, make sure you check the doors, make sure they're locked, and he's like, and lock the windows. And like we would put boards in the window.
Yeah.
But like it was summertime, and so like we had the AC in the window, and when I went out to the kitchen, I seen like the thing that you pull out to make sure the AC is like in place.
Yeah.
It was ripped. And so I thought like someone was talking to
Yeah.
her through that. And so I went around all the windows.
Like Jack Nicholson style, just break through. Hey, baby. Hi, baby.
So that's what I was thinking. And I called Dakota crying, and he came home, and he like was looking around, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, it doesn't look like anyone tried to pry it open. He's like, I don't know why it's like that.
Yeah.
And then about like a week later, Cassius and Zelda made friends with the neighbors' kids, and they were all playing around outside, and then they come in to grab snacks, and like they brought those kids in the house. I was like, hey, you can't bring like other people's kids in the house. You guys got to go outside. And Coda's like, oh, he's like, I'll go sit with them outside. And at that time I had my puppy Bombay.
Yeah.
She was real tiny then, and I could hear someone saying like, puppy, like I thought it was one of those kids, and I was like, what the heck? So I got up and went and looked, and there was nobody in the house with me. And then it like clicked that was that same voice talking to Briseis. And so like I just kind of put two and two together, and I was like, Bob would make himself sound like a child.
Like a child, yeah.
Because Briseis was the one who named him Bob.
Yeah.
Because when we would get home after like we'd be coming from here or either Billings, she would instantly go to our room saying, Bob, like looking for Bob.
Spirits that mimic, those are categorized, well, in the paranormal field, investigators, they categorize those as more demonic. As they can, and this is an actual biblical verse I was reading just yesterday, I think. I forgot which one it was, but it talks about, man, I found a whole bunch of them about, so I was trying to figure out how a doll can inhabit.
Yeah.
Be inhabited by a spirit. But then I went on this whole other thing about them, which I've been looking into for like years, about going to mediums and things and stuff like that, and how they're used and whatnot.
Yeah.
Verses on that. And but it does talk about how demons portray themselves as angels or beings of light. It's referenced as, and other beings, I think, or something like that. And there's actual somebody in biblical stories. You got to find where he is, but he goes to a medium, and his brother comes through.
Yeah,
and you can hear his voice. And then later on in Scripture, it talks about how he was
familiar spirit,
right, rebuked about it, saying that's not his brother. But they do have the ability to mimic, and a lot of times they do mimic children, and because they're, I guess, more to them, I think it's probably they seem more friendly interacting with them, with the child ghost, and that's when you start to fall into those more of the hauntings, because now you're seeing a little girl and you start to play with the little girl or bring it gifts and
You
things.
think it's innocent.
Right, you think it's actual, so a child that died there or something, and they do take on those forms of children that passed away, and they'll use their voice, they'll use scents, whether that's a perfume or cologne the person wears. They'll interact with items that they've often touched every day, whether that's like a coffee mug or anything in the house that they've dealt with. Clothing falling off, a certain item of clothing falling off a shelf or something. They'll start doing things like that to infiltrate the house, to where you say, "Oh, that's my probably my relative then," or "That's my lost loved one."
Yeah.
Possibly, because the spirit, it's so there is what you're talking about is familiar spirits, and the familiar spirit is a demonic entity, and what it does is it mimics everything about you.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of times where you get something, when you get delivered from something, this spirit will already, it'll have your memory, it'll have your mannerisms, it'll have your desires, and just everything about you, sense and things like that. And when you pass away, it could use those into try to, I guess, get camaraderie with you.
Yeah.
And
work its way into your home.
Right. And then that's when you start reaching out to that spirit as the child.
Thinking it's that person.
Right. As the child or whatever, it's like you think, oh, it's my niece passed away or something, and she's interacting with us. And so when you start playing with your toys with that demon, you're actually, that ghost actually speaking and playing with the demon, and that's when it's able to, it has, I guess it's called it's like got legalities within the spiritual to be in the household now.
Yeah.
And once you start speaking to it, it's got more legalities to infiltrate your life and to also attach itself to you. There's a rant.
I had a thought too, like with mediums and psychics and things. I was wondering if when they're like, oh, like your loved one's reaching out, like is it their familiar spirit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of
Yeah.
figured. Is that's just them? Because I even told you that story about that one old man in Billings that passed away, and he used to live with some family members of ours. And after he passed away, you can hear him whistling in his bedroom.
Oh, I know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you went in the bedroom, it sounded like it was coming outside, like from outside. The window was open, and I remember our brother went outside, and our cousin was standing inside. He can hear the whistling come from out the window, and vice versa. He heard it come from inside the bedroom. And when everybody went outside, you can hear it coming from the field. And it basically led him to that house that he was going to buy that was literally right behind the home that they were living in. So it was like, it kind of started mimicking him. And that was like kind of one of the creepiest things that, I've known of that had to do with familiar spirits.
Right.
So every time I hear that, like, remember that story, that's what I always think about. Like every time you mention familiar spirits, that one always comes to mind.
Yeah.
Because that was just creepy.
But ghost writing, and this has been in movies. I think even what's the movie? The new one. The girl's head gets knocked off.
Oh, Hereditary.
Hereditary. That one. It's been used in that one. There's another movie called Paranormal Entity. It's been used in that one. That one was one of the creepiest ones, I think. And anyway, she starts ghostwriting, and immediately things start happening that kind of mimics her husband, but he's cremated. But that's a good one. But you're basically using a form of a Ouija board to interact with the demon. And then that's when it starts to get more involved, and then now it starts acting outside of that relative.
Yeah.
It starts doing other things that wouldn't be attributed to that relative or somebody.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird. Like, I remember watching a video where this one lady, her eyes were like white, and she was just scribbling all these things and then flip another page, and she keeps going.
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. We even had a friend on the podcast, Miranda Young, and she said she was actually drawing pictures.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she started kind of doing that kind of stuff, but she would draw pictures rather than like ghostwriting. And she would draw things, and she started actually drawing people that she even draw somebody that she met.
Yeah.
And then she talked about somebody that passed away too, and literally draw them to a T. It was like freaking crazy. Like she showed me the picture, and I was like just wowed. It was pretty crazy. So yeah, like the other, that's actually a big thing, like a really big thing. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
That's a thing. All right, go ahead. Another one.
One of you guys go.
Oh, did I tell you what happened at work? I thought I mentioned it before. I remember it was like toward the end of the day, me and a coworker of mine were just coming back. We went and parked like our work trucks. I think we were parking the dump trucks or something. And we're walking and we're just, talking about all kinds of stuff. I can't remember what we were talking about, but we walked in the front of the building where our shop is, and there was nobody in the parking lot. It was just our cars there. There was nobody there. And we went into the front door of the shop. And as soon as the door closed, and the shop, it's pretty big. And on the right side, there's our lockers. There's like a little hall, our lockers in the bathroom. And there's these steps that go upstairs. And, we just keep random things up there. And I remember the lights being off up there. And as soon as we walked in and we got kind of almost toward the middle of the shop, we heard the loudest, like, scream. Like it was a man screaming, like he was like getting murdered, like screaming at the top of his lungs, like really loud in the shop. And we both just like dead stop, and we're just staring toward the direction it was coming from. And the weird thing is I kind of like, right when it finally stopped, he looked at me like, "Did you fucking hear that?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I heard that. That was loud as hell." And I kind of walked up and went to look down the hall that goes to the front office, and it just now opened, and we had two more coworkers walking in, talking, doing something on a time clock. And I asked them, "Is there somebody up front?" They're like, "No, there's nobody up there." I said, "Was somebody like messing around? I thought somebody was playing around." And they're like, "No." And I walked to the back, and both mechanics were in the back working on a truck. And so there's them two in the back. There was nobody in the front. And I went up front to the front office, and I asked them, "Was anybody up here, messing around?" And they were kind of like, "No." Or was anybody like any kids, yelling around? And I said, "Nobody's been in here." And I walked back out and went up top, and literally the lights were off upstairs. And that's where it kind of sounded like it was coming from. Like somebody was screaming upstairs. And I remember I went to ask my coworker about it. Told him, "Dude, there's nobody over there. There's nobody in the bathroom. There's nobody upstairs." And automatically he tries to change the subject.
Oh my God.
"Oh no, I don't want to talk about that one." He starts trying to change the subject. I was like, "Dude, you heard that though?" I was like, that was creepy as hell. And he was like, and he started talking about like bringing up a movie or something, trying to change the subject. But like talking to him before, he's like, he tells stories like that all the time. Like he tells me like
ghost stories.
Yeah, like something that happened to his brother or something like that, or creepy things and things that he believes. And the mechanics come walking in the back, and I said, "Was anybody back there?" And they're kind of like, "No, it's just us." I was like, "Were you guys yelling around?" And they kind of looked at each other funny, like, "No, like we're just working on that truck back there." And even if they did yell out there, it wouldn't be that loud. It was like you can hear it echo inside the shop.
That's so weird.
I remember I walked out front and checked, and there was still nobody in the front. But talking to one of my coworkers, he said like stuff like that kind of happens all the time in there, but he just doesn't talk about it.
Wow.
And you bring it up around people, like what he tells me, he plays stupid. Like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
I don't know what that
he
is.
He does that kind of stuff. Like, what?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
With people, man.
You're watching too many movies. I'm like, oh my God.
I don't know what that is. Like, why don't they acknowledge it? Do they want to sound crazy or what?
I don't know.
We have an uncle that does that.
Yeah. Dad brought it up.
Yeah. And just doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, doesn't like talking about it now, like in front of people, but around, us and stuff, he would bring it up. But,
so
yeah, he does that all the time. That my coworker, I'm like, oh my God. And he even saw something with me too. We were in the fire hall, like the old fire hall. Not this one right here, but the old one. It's literally connected to the shop. And I remember he came in the door, like the back door, and I was pulling up into one of the bays, and both doors were wide open. And I came pulling up, and somebody walked literally across both bays and went into this back room where we park our back on truck. And there's two big doorways, one on that side and one on this side. And right when he walked in, my coworker, he glanced over and he watched this guy walk, you know, and he looked at me and he pointed. So I know he saw him. He kind of like, who's that? You know, I sat in the truck. I was like, I don't know. So I got out of the truck and he goes to walk through this doorway and I walk through the other one. We both walk in and we start looking around, checking in the trucks and everything. There's like absolutely nobody there. It was just us. And he was like, did you see that guy? I was like, yeah, I saw that guy. And he said, he was wearing that brown jacket. And he like thoroughly described him to what I saw. And that's when he started telling me all the stuff that happens there. And he just says, I've been working here for this many years. He said, this stuff happens all the time. I just don't talk about it. He said, I just don't like talking about it. So then when I bring it up, he plays dumb like all the time.
Wow. I wonder if it's like the same thing you're talking about. It's like you bring it up, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this has been like,
he doesn't want to talk about it.
This is like a thing since we've been kids. And I'm not talking about it's going to happen. And then it happens.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. I told a story off it, I think, with you guys, and it was me and Merville. And there's a famous video. This is like when YouTube just started getting well known for ghost videos. And we would spend hours upon hours.
Searching.
Yeah. And it would get to the point where relatives would be there and the group in the house would just get bigger and bigger just around a computer monitor.
Yeah, that was like this big.
Yeah, and then that would go into Dad telling his stories and things like that. But this one day, me, Merville, I think our buddy Hardy Boy too, we were watching a ghost video and we found a video in Argentina. And it was these, and I think if you guys know it, you guys can tag us in, or we can't find it. But
it's one of those videos that you have to search through videos to find. It's like you can't just search it.
Yeah,
you have to like find it.
It's these guards, and they see a woman way out there, and she's in white. I think that's how it goes. And anyways, she starts laughing, right? And like loud, and the guards start freaking out. And the way she was laughing, it was like echoing, like really echoey, like it was on a megaphone or something. And that freaked us out. And then we decided to go outside, go in the back, and we went through the back door, and the graveyard is across the road on the other side. That's kind of where we heard it, but we heard it actually closer inside of the ditch area, but towards that direction. And Merv was joking around. He's like, "Oh, what if we just heard that lady out here, and we started seeing that lady, whatever?" And they're just joking around. And then, just like in the video, echoey, loud over megaphone, we heard the ugliest laugh, exact like the video, coming from the ditch in that direction.
Yeah,
we started freaking out. We ran inside, left our buddy out there.
Yeah, did you say you like accidentally locked him outside or something?
We're like pushing ourselves in, man, trying to get inside. Oh, that was the weirdest one.
What a douche.
He's pounding on the door, and you're like, "It's her."
He's got some weird ones too. Just that, I guess. It's like it might just be native culture. It's like everyone has a ghost story. Everybody has. It kind of seems like even Goatman is relative to Native Americans, and we talked about it before. How it's how the goat figure is biblical being, not even just biblical, but Greek mythology as a satyr. They dance on ruins like they danced in Babylon. They're the god of wine, things of that nature.
Yeah.
But we heard stories about Goatman. We were going with Al somewhere in a back road, and we seen something like that. I think that's how I don't remember. But even stories about them seeing, this was a big thing back when we were kids.
Yeah.
of them seeing what they thought was the devil.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we have a grandfather who had a story like that too. Do you remember that at all?
Which one?
The one where he gets picked up?
Yeah.
Oh.
How did that go?
Yeah, I thought we told that story in one with Dad.
Did
wasn't
we?
it? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's where they were on their way home. I think they were on their way to, was it Lame Deer?
I think so.
Lame Deer or
Lodge
Lodge
Grass.
Grass? Yeah, it was Lodge Grass. They were walking to Lodge Grass, and I remember Grandpa said that he didn't even hear this car pull up. He said he just saw it kind of just pull up next to him.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was just quiet, dead silent. And he looked over and he said it was this really long black car. And he said the window rolled down and there was a guy driving. He said he had slick back hair and he was wearing the darkest sunglasses. And he asked him, "Do you guys need a ride?"
He had a suit on, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a suit on. And he said, "Do you guys need a ride?" And Grandpa was saying, "No, we're okay. It's just up here." And he said, "No, just go ahead and get in. I'll give you a ride. And he said, "I'm going that way anyway." And he convinced him to get in the car. And he said when they started driving, he didn't realize it till like halfway there. He said that this guy, the whole time, he was just leaning, facing him. He didn't even look at the road once. And he said he was just smiling at them. And he leaned down and grabbed a bottle. And he said it looked like a really old, like dusty bottle with a cork on it. And he said he popped it open and asked him, "You want a drink?" And Grandpa said, "No, I'm okay." And he hands it to his friend. He said, "Do you want one?" He said, "Yeah, I'll take a drink." And he said he took a drink of it, and he just took one drink. And he said it actually smelled like death, like something died. Like, you know how it smells like when something's been dead for a while? Mm-hmm. He said that's what it smelled like. He said that's that smell coming from that bottle. And he kind of handed it back, and he put the cork back on it and tucked it under the seat. And he was kind of just trying to, talk to him, make conversation. And he said he didn't look at the road once this whole time. And Grandpa finally said, "Oh, actually, we get off right here."
He said he had modern dials and things.
Yeah, he said the way this car was, he's never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and this was when he was younger.
Yeah. And he told him, "Well, we actually get off right here." And he just, wanted him to pull over so he can get the hell out of the car. And he said, "All right." And he said the car just pulled over and they got out. And he said what was weird was he said it felt like just like 2 minutes and they were already almost home.
Wow.
And he said he got out and that guy said, "Hey." And when he turned around to look at him, he said he kind of leaned over and he told him, I'll see you guys, I'll see you guys soon. He smiled. And he said the lights underneath the dash lit up his feet and he had hooves.
Oh, it's so creepy.
And he said he remembers everything vividly, like the floor, the carpet in there and everything was red. And he said he shut the door and he said same thing. He couldn't even hear that car just drove off. And he said he was walking, they were like, walking the rest of the way. And he said the further they got, they said his friend started kind of slurring, staggering. And he said it's like the more and more they got closer to home, it was like the more and more he was getting drunk. And he only took one drink. Mm-hmm. And he said he literally had to carry him, like he was walking him home. And he walked him all the way home. And then Grandpa went home. And he said he woke up the next morning and called, to see how he was. And he said his mom picked up the phone and she told him that he died that night in his sleep.
Wow.
And he said, I don't know how many years later, he said it gave him the chills, but he saw that car. And he said that car actually finally came out like, what was it, 20 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So creepy.
Man, I know I don't like that story.
I gotta get the freaking Twilight Zone.
But what's funny is I've heard that kind of like almost that same story, but the way they describe this person and like every time I heard them talk about Goat Man when I was a kid, I pictured this like goat looking person,
right?
Like somebody that actually looked like a goat on two legs. But when I actually started asking questions when I got older, it's literally a man. And the way they described them is how I always pictured the devil to look. Mm-hmm. And they said it's like a really handsome man, but he has hooves.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember that even happening outside of Grandma's house
And that's
once.
how demons were described biblically, is they were satyrs.
Yep.
Satyr-like, half man, half goat.
Yeah, and then Peyote Sam actually told a story too.
Yeah, I got to get him on.
And
there.
that one was a wicked one. Like, you have to hear him tell that story. It's freaking crazy. Like, it's literally Goat Man, but he basically predicted all these people the way they're going to die, and they all died that same way.
Wow.
One of them actually, I think, died here.
Wow.
Here in Hardin.
Weird.
Yeah, but it happened in Billings.
When you seen him?
Yeah, when they saw him.
I remember somebody said they seen him at, this was when I was a kid. I remember being outside and hearing about it. Mom freaking out. And
did you say you're freaking out?
No, Mom freaking out.
Oh. Yeah, they said, and I'm freaking out.
But
I'm scared.
And she said they seen him at a store.
Yeah.
And he was dressed in a nice suit, and he had like a purple tie or something on, and black hair, glasses.
Said he was like the most handsome man they'd ever like laid eyes on.
Yeah. And they didn't see him buying anything or anything. He was just there.
Yeah.
And said something to them and got in his car. But someone started freaking out because they said he had hooves. And that was the story that circulated around Crow for a while.
And I never told this story on the podcast, did I? Last winter?
No.
What happened last winter?
Huh.
Every night, I always pray over my house. Mm-hmm. I pray over it a certain way. And I even had prophets tell me they see my house exactly how I pray for it. Mm-hmm. And I remember this one morning, me and Sarah go outside. We go outside to, shovel the walkway and everything like that because it just snowed. Mm-hmm. Fresh snow. Literally, there was no tire tracks on the street. So nothing. We go outside and I see these, looks like footprints coming from, off like the boulevard. Mm-hmm. It was kind of coming down the boulevard. And this was kind of creepy. We kind of go like, what the hell is that? And we kind of looked, and it's literally I walked next to it. It's literally a man's stride, mm-hmm. but they were hooves.
Whoa.
And I walked next to him, and it's literally about the stride of somebody my size. And they were hooves, but there was only a set of two.
That's so weird.
And it literally walked up to the edge of the sidewalk in front of my house, but it was like it couldn't step on the lawn. It was like there was a stride coming from the boulevard, and the two hooves stood side by side, like it was standing. Mm-hmm. And then you could see where it turned off, and these hooves go toward the street, and that's where they end.
Weird.
They were fresh. And there was no tracks, no footsteps, no tire tracks on the street at all.
That's so weird.
And these were like big hoof prints.
Wow.
That happened last winter.
Freaking Krampus.
I know. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, look at these. And Sarah looked at them. She was like, those are hoof prints. Like, what the hell is that? And I said, look at them. Look how they are. And she saw those two standing like right next to each other, like somebody's standing there, but they were just one set of footprints, like just 2 feet.
Wow.
And she was like, that's a demon. I was like, yeah, that has to be a demon.
That there's a devil.
Yeah, but she was like, but it looks like it couldn't get in our property. Like it just walked up to the property and then it left.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't come in.
Like it was trying, but...
Yeah, like it came up and nothing.
Wow.
But yeah, that happened last winter.
That's so strange.
I know. That was like, I didn't even think to try to take pictures or anything because I was just like kind of, oh my God, like look at this,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to tell you guys about that last time. I don't think I told you.
There was a story too about these girls down the street. Remember that? They started screaming.
Yeah, it was outside of Grandma's house.
And we could hear them outside.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole neighborhood was outside. And
this was at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And everyone...
It was 3 o'clock to I think 5 o'clock that they were screaming.
I just remember people coming and like out of their house and stuff, and this you just got to live on the res to realize how freaking natives are.
How nosy we are.
Yeah, everyone knows. Everyone knows the next family. Everyone knows which family lives where and stuff like that, and just everyone coming out of their house and These girls are freaking out. They ask grandma to pray for her.
The
for them.
parents come,
right? Yeah,
come and knock on the door.
How did that happen?
Because I
What did
remember
they-
staying there, and we heard them screaming.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? It creeped us out because they were just screaming bloody murder. But it was two girls.
Yeah.
They were actually on their way home from a party. So I know I probably told this story before, but you want me to tell it again?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we were. I remember we were all staying at Grandma and Grandpa's house in Crow, and it was like around 3:00 in the morning, and we just started hearing this scream, like these screaming outside, and it went on till like 5:00 in the morning. Like you hear it right outside, like on the street, and then it just kind of like quieted down a bit because they went into a house, and it was a house like kitty corner from Grandma and Grandpa's, and there was, man, I can't remember who was all there. There was like 10 of us sleeping in the living room.
Yeah.
All us grandkids.
Yeah.
And I remember this man and woman came up and started talking to Grandma and Grandpa at 5:00 in the morning, asking them to come pray for their girls, their daughter and their daughter's friend. And I remember they told us to, stay in the house, don't go outside, don't open the door, until we come back. And they had this big picture window in front of their house. And I remember we're all just kind of like looking out, watching them. And you could hear them over there for a while. And that screaming went on for like another 45 minutes, I think. Mm-hmm. And they finally calmed down and stopped. And I remember like sitting there like waiting for him to come back, and our cousin Chris, he always got so freaking scared of everything. He was walking around the living room holding a knife, crying.
Oh my
like
God.
He thought somebody's gonna come in, and he's just sitting there holding the knife, crying. We're telling, dude, chill out, man. What are you doing? And he's just sitting there like ready for somebody to come in, and he did that all the time. But I remember Grandma and Grandpa came home, and they told us, just go to bed, go to sleep. And we woke up, and I remember asking Grandma, what happened? What was going on? And Grandma said that the girl that lived there and her friend were walking home from a party. And they said basically same thing. This car just pulls up right next to them, a really long black car. But the way they described them was creepy. They said the door opened and they saw a hoof step out. And these horns come out, and they said these horns were massive. They came out of the doorway and stood up, and they said he was tall. They said he was like towering over him.
Right.
And they said he had a robe on. He had a robe over his head, and the horns came out of the robe. And they just started screaming and ran from him into the house. And the parents said that they ran into her room, and they both had their hands covering their ears, just screaming their heads off. And they wouldn't open their eyes or anything. They were trying to calm them down and grab them and go, hey, what's going on? And they screamed like that for 2 hours.
Wow.
And yeah, Grandma was telling us they saw the devil. And basically, every time I heard, them talk about like, oh, these people saw the devil. And when I hear people say they saw Goat Man, they describe the same person. Mm-hmm. This person that was literally hooves like a man, or not hooves like a man.
Right.
Hooves, yeah.
Yeah, a man with hooves.
Continue.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I remember that was like,
oh man, those man feet go back centuries.
Yeah,
reading it in the Bible.
Yeah.
What kind of friends do you have?
I know. But yeah, I remember that was like just one of the creepiest things, just actually witnessing that, like how terrified these people were. And I can't remember, he said something to him, but I can't remember what he said. But yeah, I was just like, thought that was like really freaking creepy.
Yeah, and they have down there a place called Goatman's Bridge.
Yeah.
And we've researched into Goatman and goat-like figures in different reservations, and it seems to be all over the place.
Yeah, not just here. It's like worldwide.
Yeah. And it's just something interesting to look into about their similarities and different cultures, and also other different cultures have the Goatman inside of their history, things like that. How's that, huh? Things like that? That better for you? So what's your next story?
Should I tell the one about his story, what it reminded me of?
Yeah. Oh, also today you had, yesterday you had We didn't talk about it, but we just listened to your necrophonic recording, and it said my name, but it sounded like me.
When you're talking, you're talking stupid.
Yeah.
You'd always make this fun, like voice when you're just being an idiot. Like he'd talk in this stupid voice, and it literally said your name how you say it sometimes.
Yeah, like mocking me.
Yeah, mocking. Yeah, and dude, it sounded like you, like to a T, man.
Oh, it's so funny though when I was showing Dolores, so I could just watch him when I'm doing something stupid, just the way you act. You're just like,
Yeah, we were watching back footage and you like roll your eyes at
Like-
it.
you're like, all right. It's always fun getting on his nerves because he acts like he doesn't hear you, and then he say it again. You're like, and he's like, what? Trying to act like. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, well, the story you were talking about, and you said you seen footprints in the snow,
Yeah.
those hooves in the snow. I had something similar happen when we lived in that house on Cody. And like you said, like snow outside. And my room, the room with the window that had no, like, you could just see insulation in that window.
Yeah, it went to like nowhere.
Yeah, that I was staying in that room at the time. And I start hearing someone knocking on the window and they're saying my name.
From that window?
Yeah. No, from the outside window.
Okay.
And like I kind of got creeped out because it was really late, and I was like, "What the heck?" And
You couldn't really get to that window because all those bushes that were there, weren't there?
and it didn't sound like anybody I knew, but they kept saying my name, and they're like knocking on the window and like trying to get in, like saying like, "Can you open the window?" And so I went and told Al, and he could hear it,
Ugh.
and he's like, "I'm gonna go see," like you know how he is.
Yeah.
And so he goes outside because like he freaked out because it was like a guy's voice.
Yeah.
And then he goes out to look, and then he comes back in, and his eyes are like real big. And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Do you wanna come in the living room with us and like go sleep in there?"
I remember this.
And I was like, "Why?" I was like, "What did you see?" And he wouldn't tell me for a bit, but then he said when he went out there, he seen dog prints,
Yeah.
and it went to my window, and it went back, and it stopped in the middle of the yard.
Like footprints
Yeah.
up to your window, and the
Yeah.
only prints were dog prints.
Yeah, it like started in the middle of the yard and then went to my window.
That is ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like how that happened at my place, where it's just nothing. It just like kind of all of a sudden footsteps in the middle of nowhere.
What about
Yeah.
moving into our old house and who's seen? Just shut down.
I was gonna do that noise.
Must go now. Power running low. But,
Powering off.
that freaking that stupid Men in Black story gets me every time. We're a huge event. We told us on the story on the podcast before. This is the reason I have my so my front door has the window on it, and like he
Like up
he
above on
had-
the top?
I don't know
Yeah.
how you lived
Like
like,
that
that, but
half moon?
when you used to live here, you didn't cover that at
No.
all. And when I got here, I didn't cover it for a while too because I thought it was like convenient to look outside. But then again, I would never go that way when someone knocked on the door. But just nudes. No, I was kidding.
Yeah. In the buff.
In the buff. But we just completed a Men in Black episode, I think, and I get this creepy feeling every time. It's certain subjects, and when it starts to get to you, and you guys felt it last night.
Yeah.
That feeling is the same feeling across all, like most of the podcasts we do with
It starts getting eerie, and
right,
like
with
that
special
ugly
guests and
feeling.
whatnot. And we did have a thing with Russell Senegal. That's why he records in the daytime now,
Yeah,
because he recorded it at night with us, and he was in a dark room, I believe, and he experienced that with us, and it
Yeah.
was something.
yeah. He said he'd like never, really recorded at night, and he, we told him what time we usually record, and he was like, all right, he wanted like the full effect. He said,
Yeah,
and so he recorded with us, and it was, man, I can't remember what time that was. It was late.
yeah, it was late.
Yeah, and then we started having things happen in the house, and he started seeing it on his camera. He noticed that it seemed like when somebody's like walking, he said the camera was bouncing like this, like somebody was walking by it, and there was nobody in here. We even tried to debunk
Yeah, we
it. We were
tried
kind of
moving
like
the
hitting
carpet and stuff,
yeah, we
and-
started kind of hitting the ground, and he said the camera wasn't moving.
And then it starts just vibrating.
Yeah, he said it starts shaking when we're talking about something. I can't remember
Yeah,
what it
almost
was.
like that ghost video. Remember?
I know.
The demon.
with the- and it
Starts messing with
moving
the camera. That is one of the creepiest ones
I hate
I've ever
that
seen.
one. And like the lights are the lights are all dimming and stuff.
Yeah, and that camera just starts moving. Like it was aiming toward a mirror, and it started turning and moving around. That is one of the creepiest videos I've ever
That's like
seen.
the best footage ever.
It's
The
because they
best.
said that they were playing with the Ouija board and
Yeah.
like, it went wrong.
Yeah, like I remember seeing they set up his camera at the door because he thought somebody was messing with him.
Yeah.
And the door flies open and slams shut, and then the chairs move, and you can hear
Breathing.
something walking. Yeah, and then you hear breathing into the mic,
The first chills I got all night.
and it's talking. Like this thing is talking right into the microphone. And he said that he, being foolish, he wanted to make sure nobody was messing with him, so he aimed it toward a mirror, and it's like a giant mirror.
Smart, very smart thing to
he
do.
hears footsteps coming up the stairs, and then this camera just all of a sudden just starts turning, moving around.
Yeah, which is very hard to do when the
Yeah.
camera's set.
I'm getting the chills right now.
Yeah, me
Like I
too.
can feel it kind of going
I
up.
know my feet are cold.
Yeah, I know. And then he said that this camera starts moving around, and you start hearing the same thing: the footsteps, the breathing into the mic, this speaking in a different language. And then the camera turns and it zooms in on something. You can kind of see something.
The way that it zooms into, it's like
just gross, man.
Yeah, it's like, brrr, and the screen goes all nuts.
But that is one of the videos that really creep me out.
Right. And
anything with mirrors, those videos always creep me
The
out.
little girl.
It just popped in my head.
Yeah.
But now I got to go find that video and put it right here.
You
There's a
have
video.
to relive that video.
This video.
I hate it.
If you guys watch this video, and this will make you afraid of mirrors. I mean, this stayed with us for
It
decades
still
now.
bugs me.
Which
That
we could
one?
say now, Dolores, that's the decades.
We were like 10 years old when we seen
Yeah.
this. Like
I was
10,
like, I was
11.
older, yeah. And I
You
remember
could,
we found
you
this.
were just able to say decades a long time
I
ago.
know.
You still have great hair.
Like about a century ago.
I know. I'm like starting to get gray hair in my beard and stuff. It's just, I'm reaching that age, I guess. But yeah, it was that. You're talking about that little girl,
Yeah.
in the mirror brushing her hair.
Yeah.
Her mom comes up to film her.
And it's set in a time. This is YouTube, and this editing back then is
Yeah,
it's almost non-existent because most videos back then, especially YouTube, nobody had really the editing software back then. because most videos back then on YouTube were long form, really no editing.
Yeah.
Then when it started getting more and more, then people started getting editing software and things like that. But this is that old video, almost like
It was ugly, man.
yeah. And it's a little girl brushing her hair, and this happens a lot with this little girl, I guess. And in one of the mirrors, the three-way mirror.
Yeah.
One of the mirrors, the little girl, her image turns and looks at her.
It like when she's brushing, it like glances back and looks at her, and the eyes just look unsettling. Like
you're
they're
gonna
black.
be here when I edit this video right here.
Because she like turns around too, and it's
Yeah,
still...
she like kind of like glances back and looks at her, and while she's facing the other way, talking to her mom.
So I have a story about a mirror. I don't think I've told it on this podcast, but I did tell it on other
I
people's
was hoping you were
podcasts.
going to talk about it.
Yeah, but I have this one though. The Men in Black remind me of that one. The Men in Black one, and this is why I cover my window. And
Yeah,
so
he's scared of Will Smith.
freaking Auntie Tess doesn't look that crazy now.
Tommy Lee Jones peering through your window.
Yeah. What are you gonna? But Marcus leaves. It was a weird event too. The next day, I had some creepy feeling of, because we were on a series, I think, and that night he leaves, and this is before Marcus helped out a lot, putting things away. Just to see his face.
I'll see you later.
He did the lip thing where he thinks
All right,
he's
I'm
better
head
than
out.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, just SpongeBob it.
But I'm cleaning up. Marcus leaves, and I just have this feeling, like this gross, like feeling, like staticky. You know what I mean? And I'm in the kitchen, and I'm facing that way, away from the door, and I get this creepy feeling, like something's watching me, like, and it just like gives me chills, and I'm like, I don't want to turn around, and I turn around, and my line of sight right away is just to the door, because that thing was open, so I thought maybe something was looking out there. Usually when someone comes through the gate, you can hear them. It's
Yeah,
like
you can hear the gate open.
The first thing we hear when someone comes to the door is the gate. And didn't hear that, and when I looked at the window, the motion light kicked on, and I just got that ugliest feeling, and I was like, I'm done. I didn't put nothing away, I just went to sleep. The next morning,
you even went and looked out, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you looked out, and the gate was closed,
Nothing.
and nothing.
The next morning, and it was snowing too then, I believe, but the next morning I was watching Bob's Burgers, and on the screen, Bob and the family are in their car, and for some reason, because I started watching more Men in Black videos and Alien videos and stuff, researching and things, and sitting on the couch, went to the room, put on Bob's Burgers, and Jasper was in his swing sleeping. I almost left Jasper there. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
I put on this. I heard that.
You heard that?
Yeah, it almost sounded like me.
Yeah, it did.
But I put on Bob's Burgers, and for some reason their skin color was opaque, and they just looked upsetting, and their eyes were like Coralines.
They're like black.
Yeah, and like all the colors were wrong. And I just, is this the grossest
He was already
thing.
creeped out, so that just creeped him out even more.
And it wasn't the TV, because the whole menus and everything were fine. Other shows were fine when I got out of there, but that episode when it came on, after leaving this and going there, it's just gross.
He was already creeped out. That just creeped him out. His comfort show,
Yeah.
like the show he like watches to wash his mouth out, you know, from all this creepiness.
But so I do have and it's funny that you mentioned last night about seeing my back, and Jessica seeing my back, and like my doppelganger is back all the time. Mm-hmm. And this is I told this story, and this is the whole the only reason I know I have a birthmark on my back, because I stared long enough at myself. We always jumped to Mom's bed. She had on her back wall was this huge mirror that covered the entire
There was
wall.
a bunch of mirrors.
Yeah.
Like
I
those
broke
square-
one.
Yeah.
Throwing a lotion bottle at Marcus. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I hit you. No, it's good. Good times, but
to go back.
those times.
To be young again.
But
You've never been young.
I know. I've been like Morgan Freeman all my life, just the same age.
But I was jumping on the bed, and I was by myself. And what I was doing was, which is such a creepy thing for a kid to do, is jumping and facing myself in the mirror, and then jumping back and facing the opposite wall, and then jumping and facing myself and jumping back. And I kept doing that. And one time I jumped back and faced the mirror, and my back, I could see my back. I was in the mirror, I was facing the other direction.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing, because that's how I know I have a birthmark, is from just seeing myself in the mirror.
It's like some kind of mirror cheat code.
Yeah, I don't know.
A glitch.
Freaking unlimited money unlocked. But
unlimited trauma unlocked.
And being a kid, I wasn't scared, but I tried to make it happen again.
Yeah.
At first, I tried to fix it, so I went and turned around, faced the other direction, jumped back, and I see myself again. But then I kept trying to do it, see if I can do it again.
Yeah.
Did you say mom walked in? She was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I was trying to
show
I was
her.
trying to show mom, and there was the frustrating thing because she wasn't able to see it, and she just thought it was freaking crazy.
Like, what are you doing?
And then you mentioned your birthmark.
Yeah,
That's so strange.
mole beauty mark, I guess would be.
Oh God.
Ugly
Mole,
mark.
And hideous mark.
maybe that mark is it's hairy.
Ew.
Just kidding.
So I wouldn't say it's a beauty mark.
No, it's got some miles on it.
Gross.
But yeah, your story.
Which one?
I feel like we had a story.
You keep saying your story.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the ones that just creep me out when I think about it, because I get to see myself long hair and just
Yeah.
gross. That house was creepy, anyways.
It
kinda
yeah,
was.
It was.
Like I would always run up those stairs. See, like I didn't like being down there by myself.
Oh, the old house over there. That house. That's the house that Aaron Baker lived in too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had some crazy stories about that one place.
You don't even remember seeing that grandma.
No.
You said she was holding a baby.
Sorry, that one's running.
What?
You came back and you were like shit faced.
Probably.
But you said you woke up and she was standing at the edge of the couch, like by your feet, and holding a baby.
Oh my God. I'm glad I blocked that out.
Because you like freaked out and you were telling me and Gloria about it.
Oof. That's bad. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
ugly.
your story. Just
I know.
It's your story.
I don't know why. It's like the children ghosts and old people ghosts are the creepiest.
The grossest. That one about the Japanese ghost, the elevator.
Mm.
That
Oh,
one.
I don't like that.
That one messed with me for a long time.
That is one of those
I
ones
still
that's hard to
think of that
find.
in elevators.
I thought. Know what the grossest thing is? I had to go.
You,
to
oh,
my-
you mean you're talking about the old lady in the elevator?
Yeah.
Where they're like that person standing by the wall, like close to the
I
wall.
had to.
And when he walks, that old lady's just like swaying,
yeah.
slowly walking out.
So I had to go into a building for my social security card because I lost it, and we were with Autumn and Lethea, and Autumn left me right away. She went downstairs and I used the bathroom, and we came up in a regular elevator, and it was fine. I have it on my Snapchat. I got into this elevator. When it opened, it was just upsetting. I didn't want to get into there because the walls were like blankets on it.
Where was this?
In the, I forgot what building it is. In Billings. It's downtown. But there are blankets on the walls. And I was like, oh my God. And right away that image just popped in my head.
You look behind, it's just men sitting at desks.
Yeah, I know.
That happened to us at the well, it's the DoubleTree now, but it was the Sheraton then when we were jumping in the elevator, just going up and down, and we noticed that there wasn't a certain floor on there, and we found one elevator that had that floor, and they're saying that they don't put that in there for superstitious reasons.
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, and we found one that actually had it, one elevator, and we went to that floor. And when we did, I remember it was me, I think Juno was there, Dusty was actually there with us, and a couple other people. And we went up to that floor, and when the doors opened, like, you know, you go to all the other floors, you know, it's just a normal hotel. We got to that floor, and it was dark. All the lights were off. It was just a hall this way and a hall that way. And we were like daring each other to step out.
Oh my god.
And it's just like the ugliest feeling. And that was actually in the Double
ugliest
Tree now.
one that we went to was me and Al in a hospital. I don't know how old I was, but I remember going to the basement because he wanted to go, which is me and Al. We get to the basement and it just had this gross feeling. And there's a gurney over there in the hallway, and it had a toe tag on.
Oh my god.
And just the look on Al's face at the time, like I brought my little brother down here. It was just gross.
He
And
probably instantly felt bad.
it was upsetting.
That is ugly.
Yeah, it was gross. Don't go to the basement in the hospital.
I know.
Wow.
But elevators.
Man, now I'm like gonna
unlimited money cheat.
Now you just scared the
You scared. You
made me
jumping
jump.
scared me.
I was gonna move something. I scared her.
I was trying to find it. It's right there.
Okay.
You jumped and I was like,
I was already like, dude, like literally in my head. What I was gonna say is now I'm gonna just that image of that old woman in the elevator is gonna pop in my head. The second I was gonna say you hit that button, it made me jump.
Literally jumped. And it's so stupid because I just look back on it, and while he's still, while you guys are freaking out about that, I'm still trying to find
the button.
just going through.
Oh my god!
Oh, shoot.
I jumped. I made her jump.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, that one always like creeped me out with that old lady, and then that one you found with that they find that cup.
Oh my, gross one, disgusting.
Yeah, they find.
I can never.
Is it in Japan?
Yeah, I can never find it again. But it's these two guys sitting on a chair, a sofa, and this again.
Oh no, you guys talked about that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
This
one.
again was old photo or old video work, early YouTube, and we always looked up different websites. Saint Brigado was one. These are like deep internet YouTube sites at the time, where they're ghost videos you can't find anywhere else. The U Show was one of the big paranormal video sites we went to, and we found this one. Oh my god, that was the grossest one.
I didn't know what it was, what I was looking at, until halfway through the video, and I realized what was going on.
He's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's these two Japanese men sitting on a chair together, and they're drinking tea.
Yeah.
And they're talking to the camera normally and stuff. And behind them, there's an older...
he was like really old.
Yeah, a really old man sitting behind them, and he was dressed in traditional Japanese clothing, and
his hair was up in a bun.
Yeah, but
it was like
yeah,
to
his
us,
head was really big.
We thought it was like elongated head almost,
but it was his hair that was.
And just like, the way that it looks is creepy.
Yeah,
because it looks like his head's long, but it's his hair.
Just like himself looked so creepy. Like he was like moving, like almost like he was supposed to be there.
He had a cup,
yeah,
of tea, and he goes down to reach for it, and when he reaches down, then you see the whole head.
Yeah,
and that was the most disgusting video I've seen in a long time.
Because they were like they're talking and doing things like he was just right there with them,
right?
And when he leans down to grab it, that's when you see how his hair was.
Yeah,
and it was just his face, everything, his eyes. It was so creepy.
Even like his mustache, like how in cartoons when
it
they
was
draw,
like really
it was
long.
like really
and he
long.
had like a really long beard, and he just looked. My God, he just looked. Yeah, I didn't know like what it was at first when I was watching
that video out.
Tonight's the night.
I know. Like there was times where I tried to find those videos again. I could not find that one.
I can't find it either. Oh, I freaking hate Mabel.
Oh, yeah. Mabel.
Did Mabel tell you where I was? I hated that one.
This is why
somebody actually bought that place, Paranormal Investigator.
Yeah, they did.
And they
did
happens.
research. Yeah, they started researching.
There's no way
in that pantry.
There's no way to get in the pantry from the other side. There's no duct. There's no way.
Yeah.
They looked through it. They looked at it. And stuff started happening to them in that house.
Yeah.
That house wasn't, they moved, the ghost moved with them, right? Into that house. And
like
then,
kind of give you a backstory on it because we just kind of jumped in that. But there's this house, and they keep seeing this little girl like ghost. Like this guy hears noises in his kitchen. He goes to his kitchen, and he has one of those doors that are kind of like a clouded glass.
Yeah.
And you can see her kind of lean up against the glass and then pull away, and he opens the door, and there's nothing in his pantry, or even things starts getting knocked over. Is that the one where he sees her in the attic too?
Yeah.
Where she pulls away,
and in the bathroom.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
And where that lady draws. Remember? She draws her.
Yeah.
And she's like pulling.
I swear, you guys have to be here when I edit this video because I got to go and pull those out.
Yeah. So that one was pretty gross. But yeah, I remember reading that not even too long ago, where this guy that's in the paranormal research and everything, doesn't he have a show? But he ends up buying that place and doing his own research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, those old videos, man, those ones that used to creep me the hell out. Like these new ones, I watch them and just,
Yeah, some of the new ones.
It's not the same.
The chapel ghost.
Yeah.
The only one that I did like was Slapped Ham did a video about a graveyard.
Yeah.
And a guy gets stuck inside of the graveyard. And one part of the video, hears a music box playing.
Yeah.
Like a little toy. And he's trying to find it, and he's using his flashlight, and he shines it towards this, the hell they call it, a mosque. I don't know what those temple things.
Yeah.
And the door's open, and he sees something peeking out at him, and then goes back in real slow. That one freaked me out. That was the only one in a while.
Yeah, we got to find these videos again because those were pretty.
The only
good.
one that I do not like, Marcus always brings up, is the freaking gray entity one, the freaking like lurking thing.
This is unreal. Just pray.
Just pray?
Yeah.
Yeah, praise you, Jesus. Father God, I just want to lift Rick up to you right now, Lord. I don't know why he's being tormented like this, Lord, but we know you know. And Lord, you've been speaking to him in visions and dreams concerning his work and different things, and the enemy is being attacked by you, Lord. And he's all worked up, but God, I just come against this. I bind these things right now, these evil spirits that are just harassing Rick and just coming into his yard. I just bind those things right now. I command them to cease and be still, be gone. I pray that you give Rick peace right now. I come against all fear. I bind that in Jesus' name. I pray, Father, that you just give peace and comfort, Lord, that he knows that Lord, that you are watching over, Lord. You are his rear guard, that nothing's going to come. When you lay down at night, no sudden terror will come upon you.
Oh my God, there it is, Mike. It came back. Oh my gosh.
I command you to go in Jesus' name.
This thing is looking weird. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It knows something's going on, man. This thing is. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. We got disconnected. I even called the minister. It went back.
But yeah, he like hates it when I bring that video up because he always has to pull it up.
I think I just have it saved.
We recorded
somewhere.
it and said, just save it because this is a good one.
I know. I got it somewhere in my
What creeped me out is he said that thing was in his house.
Yeah, that's
it was in
gross.
his sunroom. It was in his sunroom before, and that was just ugly. Good God.
Just instantly start crying.
I know, and this thing looked buff too. Like the way it was built is just disgusting.
It looked like
He's benching trees.
I know.
It looked like a shaved bear.
What?
Have you seen a shaved bear?
Yeah, they look like a werewolf.
Yeah.
You mean when they have mange? I don't think someone's out there shaving bears.
Yeah, when it has a mangy bear. It looks like a
What
hairless bear.
sick man is going around shaving bears.
Need the bear hair.
The other thing is just, that was kind of unsettling. And Dad was actually the one that showed you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he found that. He watched this video.
He was
my
so excited
God.
to show everybody
I know,
that
when
video.
He found that. He was just so creeped out. I remember he was laughing because he was like, "That's ugly." Just watch it again.
Just certain times of the year, man, you go into his room and he's watching ghost videos.
All the
Yeah.
time. And it's always Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot stuff.
He loved Bigfoot.
So disturbing. But the hell was it now? You told the story about the Andre's ghost. That ghost that looked like Andre.
Yeah, I told that in the last episode.
And that little boy.
The way he runs. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was creepy. The way Dad described it was so creepy.
I always have that feeling, man, in the car. Especially having a sunroof. Have you remember that video?
Yeah.
Japan. It's on a news thing, and they're talking to this news anchor, and he's got his camera facing him like this. He's got his sunroof open, and it's nighttime. And the news anchors are freaking out. He's on the highway, and there's a little boy peeking over his sunroof, and then going back.
Yeah, they're on the highway, and he's like peeking in. And I remember we always had a bunch of people over watching those videos. There was even one time where there was like 15 of us in that room watching
Yeah.
it. And this particular night, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and a couple of them didn't want to leave because of that video.
Yeah.
Because they had a sunroof.
Yeah.
So I had like 3-4 people sleeping in my room while I slept on the couch because they did not want to go home. But yeah, that one was a good one
And
too.
the one with the mirror, Al wouldn't use the bathroom for a week.
Yeah, he wouldn't go in there. He would alone. He wouldn't go there alone.
He would use the bathroom outside.
Yeah.
And wash his hands in the kitchen.
And he'd make his wife sit in the bathroom with him while he took a shower.
Yeah.
Like, that's how creeped out he was.
I get that way sometimes. It's all right.
もう一度ご覧いただこう。三面鏡の右側の部分に注目していただきたい。
綺麗になった。後ろも綺麗になってるよ。
女の子が母親の方を向き、一瞬鏡の方へ振り返ったその次の瞬間、右側の鏡に映り込んだ女の子のみが睨みつけるようにこちらを向いている。
じゃーん。ほほほほ。
この鏡は母親が知人から譲り受けた古いものだという。
Yeah, I remember like just watching all those like, oh my God, like saw something with a mirror. We started looking up more like that. And yeah, I remember it scared him so much he would not shower in there by himself.
We just did an episode with the errands I got to put out about mirrors. Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
And
What was it?
Bloody Mary.
What?
You're trying to get him to say it 3 times.
It's like 3 to 13. I don't know. It's stupid. But and we're talking about how this could be like because mediums too, when they go into houses, some of them cover mirrors, some of them
Yeah.
cover photos, things like that.
Anything reflective, isn't it?
Right, yeah. And the belief system in Aztec mythology or history is they believe that it's, in their beliefs, they were almost in the same rank as or the same level as a spiritual being.
Mhm.
And they're called like creators or something. Anyways, these creators decided that the humans shouldn't have the same powers they do to talk with animals, to see spirits and things. So what they said is they put a smoking, like a smoke over their eye, like a mirror, smoking mirror they call it or something like that. And the Aztecs had this black mirror, and it was made of obsidian, and it's reflective.
Yeah.
And they're able to look into the mirror, and that's when the fog is lifted from their eyes, and they can see things like their future and talk with spirits and things like that. There was somebody in the U.S. government way back then who had that mirror too, had a mirror just like that, and was practicing witchcraft and whatnot. But we always had that theory too, is like, it could a mirror be, which I believe everyone knows that it could be like a doorway or
a portal.
A portal. And there's haunted mirrors, and it's just really strange. And this is the thing about the doppelganger thing is, have you heard that theory? It's like, if you look at yourself in the mirror, in your alone bathroom, and everyone always says sometimes they get creeped out by it, does your reflection seem closer to you, or does it seem the right amount of distance from you and the mirror? And if it's closer, that means you're probably looking at your doppelganger.
Ew.
Like if you're standing like so close and it's standing a little further away, or if you're standing back and it's a little closer, it's not your reflection.
Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah.
Oh, I freaking hate washing my face. I gotta look up and
I know everything in your
the wrong eyes open.
Ew.
Yeah. The way your bathroom's set up is just
it's unsettling.
Yeah, you don't just have one over the sink, like over the toilet.
You have to look
mirror
at
there
yourself
too.
when you pee.
Yeah, like a guy who has to look at himself.
Yeah,
when he's glancing up.
Like, my reflection's not peeing. Our reflection started before I did.
Why does he still have his pants on?
Stop it, he's still going.
Oh, that's stupid.
He tries to Austin Powers it and throw him off.
That lady, my boss at work, she's scared of the mirrors that they have there.
Yeah.
Why?
You told me that.
Because if you go upstairs, like, they always have mirrors at the end of the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
why do they do that?
It's a stupid thing to have. You know what I mean? In a hotel.
Yeah, and it's weird because how theirs is set up is like, you can only, like, when you're so far down, you can only see like from here down.
What?
It's like leaned forward.
That's like, you can check out your gear.
I guess. I don't know. Check out your fit.
Yeah. Fit check.
But she said that every time she has to go up there and like check the rooms to see if they're vacant, she does not look at that mirror because she's seen a little boy staring at her, and she said that he was like in old-timey clothes.
Whoa.
Wow.
And she said that there's even like an old man that haunts upstairs as well.
Old man ghost.
Old man ghosts.
What was that one you told?
At Uncle Dan's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell that one.
I remember a cousin told me that story. And he said that his dad, he lived on Alpine. And he said that this guy came over, like, in the middle of the night, just wanted a place to crash out. He said, yeah, he had had a couple drinks. So, yeah, hey, can I crash at your place? He said, yeah, go ahead. And he had this room in the back of his house that nobody really sleeps in. And there's a bed back there, and he said there's a rocking chair in there. And he said, yeah, go ahead and take that room. And he goes back there, and he's sleeping. And he said he hears this creak. Keeps hearing this creaking noise. And he rolls over to look, and there's this old man sitting in that rocking chair. And he said this guy, he's really old man, sitting in a rocking chair, and he said he was completely naked from head to toe. And he was just rocking in that chair. And he said when he looked at him, he said this man was laughing really hard and covering his mouth and pointing at him. And then he'd throw his head back and laugh, but it was dead silent. So just imagine looking at somebody laughing at you and it's dead silent.
So gross.
And he said he closed his eyes for a second and then just got up and booked it out of that room. Said, I'm not staying here. I don't know if he slept in the living room or if he left. But after I heard that story, he said nobody likes to sleep in that room because of that story.
Disturbing.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, that is a...
There was one about one of them peeing too while they're laughing at him.
Yeah. Merble had that
I thought
story.
that usually happens to you.
How would that story go?
Pointing at you laughing?
I know. So great now.
Doppelganger.
Ew.
How did that go?
He said it was at the end of someone's bed, like in the corner. Jeez. But it was like in the corner, and it was just, they woke up and he was sitting there like crisscrossed, and he was laughing and he started peeing himself.
What the hell?
Okay, yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
That was Merple. Not the old man peeing.
But that happened.
it.
That happened in Crow.
What house?
I don't know.
Ooh, that's. Yeah, I never heard that one.
Isn't that gross?
Yeah, it is. Oh my god. Yeah, like the old people ghosts. Every time I hear those stories, man, those just give me the creep.
I can't stand it.
I know. It's just like really unsettling.
Like children ghosts don't really bother me that much. They do to a
certain extent.
Yeah, but when it comes to old people, man, I can't do it. Or young women. That bothers me. Like Japanese ghosts, they're always young women.
Yeah.
Those bother me a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Like the long hair, and they're just like...
I think one of the creepiest ones is when Al told.
How'd that one go?
One upstairs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he would not go home for like, what, weeks?
No, he was down here a lot.
Yeah, he was down here, or he was over at Mom's house. He would not go home all day.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what happened?
He said he was, he even sent us pictures. He'd get home and his house would be, or his apartment would be thrashed. You know, his garbage can will be knocked over, garbage out. His chairs will be pulled all over the place, laying, chair laid over, stuff like that. And he was the only one that had a key. And down here, we can hear everything going on up there. We hear footsteps. We heard people running. We heard people crying upstairs. It sounded like a woman crying all the time upstairs. And it was to the point where we'd have to ask him, is anybody upstairs? And he's, no, I'm at work. You know, there's nobody there. And we even went up there and knocked on the door a couple times when he didn't answer. Mm-hmm. And one day he said he came home and his apartment was, you know, trashed. And he picked everything up and he was cleaning. And he had a wet rag. And he was wiping down his coffee table or something. And he goes to throw the rag toward the bathroom. And the way this apartment's set up, there's no lights in that hall. The hallway to the door and the hallway to the bathroom, there's no lights in there. Mm-hmm. It's just dark. And he throws that rag into the bathroom and he goes to turn and that rag comes flying back at him. And he turns to look and out of the dark, he sees a head lean forward and it's an old woman. And all he saw was her head like lean forward out of the dark and she had her hair pulled up into a bun.
Pitch white.
Yeah. Pitch white hair.
No, pitch white face.
Pitch white face, yeah. And he said she just leaned over and looked at him and then leaned back into the dark. And after that, he would not go home. He didn't talk about it. You know, he didn't say anything. He'd always be down here or he'd always be at Mom's house for weeks until Tidal finally asked him, why don't you want to go home? And finally he told him, I saw a face. And that's when he told him that story.
Just kidding.
And when it happens to him, he just says it's getting worse.
Yeah. It's getting worse.
Happens a lot. And the one that sticks to me the most is the one that Dad told about the Crow School. About an old woman appearing who looked like a cook in the kitchen area.
Oh.
Remember that one?
I thought you were going to tell a different one, but yeah, that one.
The one that
Screamed.
Yeah.
But
do you remember that one?
Yeah, Uncle Ben.
Can you tell that one?
Uncle Ben's story.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember how he told that, but he said something about Uncle Ben being in the kitchen. And I can't remember what he was doing. I think he was taking the trash out or something.
Yeah.
And he saw a woman, wasn't it in the mirror? Mm-hmm. He said he saw a woman. She looked like a cook, didn't she?
Something like that,
and she was staring at him. And then she all of a sudden just like leans forward and her mouth opens up like wider than normal. And like it's kind of like made a face really quick at him. Like it didn't scream, it just kind of made a face. And then he said he put his head down and closed his eyes and he ran out that door outside and he had to run past it to get outside. And when I heard that, man, I did not want to go there because we used to go there all the time to eat breakfast
the face that
or
Dad
lunch.
made with that, man, it just stuck
I know.
with me.
He wouldn't do it though. When we asked him to do it on the podcast, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah. It's like
I know, he leaned and did it really quick. I was like, oh. But yeah, after that, man, I was like, man, I was always creeped out to go in that school. Like even when we go in there and play, you know, basketball stuff while they're cleaning.
Yeah.
Like he'd help Uncle Ben clean the school and stuff, you know, and we'd be playing basketball in the gym and just, man, you get ugly feelings, man. It's creepy.
Does that do it?
Yeah, that can wrap it up for this one.
So Dolores will be back on the podcast, and I think she'll be a third figure. Got to get Aaron's back on. And so we're going to go back to once a week podcast every, Thursday?
You want to do every other week or every week?
Every week.
That is a lot.
Work is-
No, I like it. Yeah,
So record like Thursday nights while another podcast is already
I'd
airing.
rather do the weekends, but okay.
What? Recording on the weekends?
Yeah, because I get up early, man. I
plan this
gotta
out
go to
after.
work.
No, when do you want the podcast to be released? Thursdays or Fridays?
Thursdays are fine.
Thursdays.
Thursdays or Fridays, either one.
So it'd be like every Thursday around 7 o'clock. Sometimes I release the audio first in the morning.
Yeah.
Just so everyone gets that circulation. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Go to our website, fallenhour.com. That's where you'll find everything Fallen Hour, everything coming up, everything that's previous. And you can find Dolores's TikTok. She tells ghost stories on her TikTok as well at Tremble Before Her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll list that also in the description. My name is Sidalinik. This is Marcus, and this is Dolores Barr. And you're listening to Fallen Hour Radio. Good.
Good enough.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I have heard, the one that seems to me most strange is that men should fear death, for death, a necessary end, will come when it will come.